The rain poured heavily that night, drenching the quiet streets, when Daniel, a struggling single dad, noticed a figure sitting on the sidewalk outside the small grocery store. At first, he thought it was just another passerby waiting for the storm to pass, but as he got closer, his heart clenched. A woman, her clothes soaked, her face pale, was clutching 3 small children, trying to shield them under a thin jacket. The little ones shivered violently, their tiny hands wrapped around their mother's arms for warmth. Daniel hesitated for a moment, his mind immediately going to his own 8-year-old son waiting at home with nothing more than a reheated bowl of soup for dinner. He didn't have much. In fact, he was barely making it through each day, working 2 part-time jobs after cleaning offices late at night. But something in his heart wouldn't let him walk away. "Ma'am, are you all right?" he asked gently. The woman lifted her head, and Daniel saw the exhaustion etched into her features. She was young but worn, her eyes bloodshot as though she hadn't slept in days. "Please," she whispered, her voice trembling. I don't have anywhere to go. They threw us out. My family, they said we were a burden." Daniel didn't understand at first, but then one of the children tugged at her sleeve and whispered, "Mommy, I'm hungry." Daniel crouched down, meeting the little one's eyes. Something broke inside him. He knew hunger. He knew what it was like to be forgotten. His wife had left years ago, taking their savings with her and leaving him to raise his son alone. He had seen the cruel side of life, and maybe that was why he couldn't turn his back now. Without another word, he extended his hand. "Come on. I don't have much, but I can give you a warm place for tonight." The woman hesitated. Pride flickered in her eyes, but desperation won. With tears, she accepted his hand, and Daniel led them through the rain to his small, run-down apartment. It wasn't much, 2 rooms, barely furnished, the kitchen light flickering, but when the children stepped inside and felt the warmth of the heater, their faces lit up as though they had entered a castle. Daniel handed them dry towels, offered his sons extra clothes, and reheated the last of the soup on the stove. He watched silently as the kids devoured it, and for the first time that day, he saw their mother's shoulders relax. Her name was Emily. She was a former soldier who had served 2 tours overseas. She spoke quietly about how she had come back home only to find her world shattered, her husband had left, her parents refused to take her and the kids in, and the government support she was promised was tangled in endless paperwork. She had no job, no savings, and nowhere to go. Daniel listened, his chest heavy. Here was a woman who had given everything for her country, and now she was abandoned with her 3 children as if she meant nothing. Days turned into weeks. Daniel, despite his own struggles, couldn't let them go. He shared meals, gave up his bed so the children could sleep comfortably, and picked up extra shifts just to afford more groceries. His son, Ethan, bonded quickly with Emily's kids, filling the apartment with laughter that Daniel hadn't heard in years. For the first time since his wife left, his home felt alive again. Yet, there were whispers in the neighborhood, people questioning why he would take in strangers, calling him foolish for sacrificing what little he had. But Daniel ignored them. He knew what it felt like to be judged and abandoned, and he refused to let history repeat itself for Emily and her children. Still, life wasn't easy. Bills piled up, Daniel's body ached from long hours, and Emily, still struggling with her past traumas, felt guilty for being a burden. One night, she broke down in tears. "Why are you doing this?" she asked Daniel. "You owe us nothing. We're just broken people with no future." Daniel looked at her with quiet strength and said, "Because once, I was broken too. And someone gave me a chance. Maybe this is my turn to do the same." His words left Emily speechless. Then, one afternoon, everything changed. A black car pulled up outside Daniel's apartment. Out stepped a well-dressed lawyer holding a briefcase. He asked for Emily, and she froze. She thought it was another eviction notice, another blow. But as the lawyer spoke, her legs nearly gave out. A relative she never knew, an estranged uncle, had passed away, leaving her an inheritance worth over $100 million. Emily's jaw trembled as she clutched the letter in her hands. Her life, her children's lives, had just been changed forever. But instead of joy, tears streamed down her face. She looked at Daniel, the man who had saved her when she had nothing. "I don't deserve this," she whispered.
"You gave me everything before I had anything. You treated me like family when even my own blood turned away. How do I ever repay you?"
Daniel, stunned, simply shook his head.
"You don't owe me anything.
Just take care of your kids.
That's all that matters." But Emily wouldn't accept that.
Within weeks, she used part of her inheritance to buy Daniel a real home, big enough for Ethan to have his own room and space to play. She also invested in his dream. He had once confessed that he loved cooking and wanted to open a small diner, but never had the chance.
Emily made it happen.
Soon, Daniel's little diner became a warm corner in town where people gathered, laughed, and shared meals that were cooked with the same kindness Daniel had shown when he shared his last bowl of soup. As for Emily, she found her strength again. With her children thriving and Daniel by her side, she realized her life wasn't broken, it was beginning anew. And slowly, love bloomed between them. Not rushed, not forced, but real. Two wounded souls, healed by kindness, building a future together not just with money, but with trust, loyalty, and love. At the end of the story, Daniel often told Ethan, "Son, kindness is the only investment that never fails." We didn't know it back then, but helping that night saved us as much as it saved them. And Ethan, watching the family they had built, always believed